Hi guys, so in last week's lesson, the last lesson we did was to do equations where you just had one step, you inverse whatever's being done to x. So if you're multiplying, you should divide both sides by the value that you're multiplying x with. If you're dividing, if x is being divided by something, you multiply by that value on each side that x is being divided with. And then if you're adding or subtracting, you do the opposite to both sides as to isolate x in the end of the day so we can find its real answer. But remember, I told you those ones are easy, and we'll get into step by step, get into the more difficult ones, which you can't really solve by just looking at it or by inspection. So just a quick hint over here before I proceed onto the examples. Over here, the hint is to write down the steps in a different color so you can see what step you have already done. And it's very important what order you do the operations in for examples like these where there are multi-step equations. So firstly, you work with the numbers in the terms other than the term where you see x, and then you work with the numbers that are coefficients of x. So in this first example, we have to isolate x, remember. That's step number one. So the first thing I'm going to get rid of is the minus 10 over here. How do we get rid of minus 10? We simply add 10. Okay, so different color, add 10. And then what you do on the left-hand side of the equation, in this case, you do on the right-hand side as well. So we add 10 to the constant term on the right-hand side. And that makes the negative 10 plus 10 become 0. And then we simplify each side furthermore. So 3x remains on its own on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, 20 plus 10 gives you 30. Alrighty, and then it looks like the kind of examples we did last week. So our inverse operation would be to divide by 3 on each side, and then 3 divided by 3 is 1, so 1x is equal to 30 divided by 3, which is 10. Alrighty, on to the next example, and that is to simply isolate once again x. So x is over here. If I can just point it to you, there's x. Oh, sorry, there's the x term. It's negative 4x. Remember, the sign goes with the term itself. And then we want to get rid of the 5, that is. In other words, it's positive 5. Don't let the negative behind it fool you. The negative belongs to the x term. So to get rid of the positive 5, we should subtract 5. That's the inverse operation of 5. And then we do the same on the right hand side. Okay, and that gives you that the 5 minus 5 becomes 0, and only negative 4x remains on the left hand side, equal to negative 5 minus 5, sorry, negative 15 minus 5 gives you negative 20 if we simplify the right hand side. And then the last inverse step to finally isolate x is to divide by negative 4, the coefficient of x. Okay, and that leaves us with 1x on the left hand side equal to, and remember, negative divided by negative is a positive, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. So x's answer is 5. And if you want to do a quick check or test, you can always substitute your x value that you got for your answer back into the original equation. So let's do a quick test over here. You don't always have to do the test, but just if you're a bit unsure. Then here we got that x is equal to 10, and therefore we substitute into 3x minus 10 equal to 20 for the left hand side. We check whether it's equal to 20. So 3 times the x value 10 minus 10 should give you 20 then. 3 times 10 is 30. 30 minus 10 is 20. Alright, so that means since the right hand side was 20 originally, the left hand side is equal to the right hand side, and x is indeed our real answer for x. Right, that's it. The work that you can do on this is on the next page over here. I've displayed it for you, the mixed exercise worksheet. If you have any more questions, please do ask.